covering news that matters. Fox 23 News at 9 starts right now.
The child care industry in Oklahoma is warning of a financial crisis that providers say could ripple far beyond families with young children. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nathan Thompson. Shay has the night off. Cuts to subsidies, a change in income eligibility, and rising costs are forcing some programs to shut their doors. Fox 23's Paris Rain joins us live in studio. Paris, you talked to child care providers about their concerns and a lawmaker too about this issue with the next state legislative session about to start on February 2nd.
I did, Nathan, and it's a hard time right now for providers with the changes and the cuts. The newest thing is that OKDHS extended access for school-age children 6 to 8, but the $5 per day per child add-on is going to stop in April. That's in addition to many more cuts, which daycare providers say could cause them to lose a lot of money. Providers say recent changes to child care funding are already hurting families, and they warn even bigger impacts are coming this year unless lawmakers step in.
Okay, so they've reinstated 6 to 8-year-olds, but they've maintained the cuts for 9 to 12-year-olds. And there's been some new developments as well. So the loss of the $5 a day funding will be extending beyond just school age. It will be extending to all age groups, and that'll begin in April of this year.
Owner of Legacy Childhood Education Centers, Whitney McCrory, says with families already being stretched thin, child care is something they should not have to stress about. But that's hard when multiple cuts are on the table.
Another one that we'll be looking at arriving in July of this year is going to be going from the income eligibility threshold is 85% right now. So 85% of the state median income qualify for subsidized child care. They're going to lower that to 55% of the state median income. So a large portion of families are about to have to pay out of pocket for care.
Her husband, Mac McCrory, who helps run the daycares, says since November, more than 400 programs have closed their doors.
It is not just going to impact families that have children in subsidized care. It is going to impact families that pay for child care out of pocket. It is going to impact people that don't have children at all. This is going to be very, very far-reaching, and we kind of have a vested interest as a society, whether you have kids or not, to try and make affordable childcare accessible to as many people as possible to improve long-term outcomes for everybody.
OKDHS recently announced they received partial funding to help strengthen and stabilize the child care subsidy program. The updates are part of what they call the stabilization plan. Oklahoma House Representative Suzanne Schreiber says child care is important, and it's something that remains a conversation in the legislature.
We have to make sure that we're paying those providers part of what market would demand. And so that's where we are, is making a decision about how are we going to support our workforce who needs childcare? And we're going to have a session starting in February talking about what that budget should look like to get it right, to make sure that parents and families and kids have what they need.
Lawmakers are expected to take up child care funding when the legislative session begins in February. Providers say without immediate relief and long-term investment, access to affordable child care and the workforce that depends on it will continue to shrink. To learn more about those cuts and changes that OKDHS has, we have a link in this story on fox23.com. Live in studio covering news that matters, and Paris Rain, Fox 23 News.